Hello, and welcome to this quiet space. Settle in. Let the weight of the day begin to dissolve. Have you ever wondered what lies beyond the pristine, perfect images of space that we are shown? What if the most beautiful, most profound visions of our universe are the ones we are never meant to see? Imagine, for a moment, that NASA has a private collection, a silent, digital gallery of cosmic ghosts and celestial whispers, images deemed too overwhelming, too artistically abstract, or perhaps too emotionally resonant for public display. These are not images of alien ships or cosmic anomalies, but of raw, unfiltered beauty. They are the data glitches that look like masterpieces, the oversaturated colors that reveal the universe's hidden textures, the impossibly long exposures that capture the slow, silent breathing of galaxies. Tonight, we have been granted a key. We will close our eyes to the world around us and open our minds to this secret archive. Together, we will witness the forbidden images of the James Webb Space Telescope and drift away on their cosmic currents. The James Webb Space Telescope, or JWST, is humanity's most powerful eye on the universe. It is designed to see in infrared light, a spectrum invisible to our own eyes. This allows it to peer through clouds of cosmic dust and gaze back in time to the very first stars and galaxies being born. Its mission is one of scientific precision. Every image released to the public is meticulously processed, color-corrected, and curated to present clear, understandable information about the cosmos. But in that process of refinement, something can be lost. Our journey tonight is into that lost space, the space of the hypothetical first draft. We are imagining the images that are set aside, the frames with unexpected light artifacts, the data streams with unexplainable patterns, the compositions that are more akin to abstract expressionism than to astronomy. These are forbidden, not by some grand conspiracy, but by the rigorous demands of science. They are the beautiful mistakes, the poetic accidents. They are the universe's private art collection, and tonight, we are its sole visitors. Let us begin our tour. Our first file is labeled The Somnus Cloud. As the image slowly materializes, we see not a nebula of fire and light, but one of profound and gentle darkness. It is a molecular cloud, a place where stars are born, yet it is depicted in hues of deep, velvety plum and muted charcoal gray. It looks less like a stellar nursery and more like a cosmic twilight. The texture is what is most captivating. It appears soft, almost like quilted fabric stretching across millions of light years. Within its folds, there are no bright, shining, newborn stars. Instead, there are faint, pulsing embers of infrared light, visible only to Webb's sensitive gaze. These are the protostars, still wrapped in their dusty cocoons, their light barely escaping. The image is forbidden because its scientific value is limited. The darkness obscures the details astronomers need. The colors are an artistic interpretation of temperature gradients, not elemental composition. But for us, its value is immeasurable. It is an image of pure potential, of quiet beginnings. It speaks of the beauty in what is not yet fully formed, the peace in the moments before the dawn. Imagine yourself floating into this cosmic quilt, the soft, dark dust enveloping you like the warmest, most comfortable blanket. There is no noise here, only the slow, silent pulse of nascent starlight, a rhythm that matches your own slowing breath. This is a place of rest, a place of becoming. Let the somnus cloud be your sanctuary tonight. Feel the gentle gravity of its peace pulling you deeper and deeper into a state of serene relaxation as you drift among the sleeping, dreaming stars. Next, we access a file titled The Ghost of Orion. This is not the familiar, majestic Orion Nebula we know. This is something else entirely, a specter haunting the same region of space. The image is a composite of hundreds of long exposure frames, stacked in a way that emphasizes faint, transient light. The result is an ethereal, ghostly white structure that seems to hover in front of the familiar stars. It is the faint, scattered light from the nebula's core, reflected off of untold trillions of microscopic dust grains that drift in the interstellar medium, far from the nebula itself. It creates a celestial shroud, a delicate veil of light that is normally invisible, lost in the glare of the bright stars behind it. This image would be rejected because it is, essentially, a picture of noise and scattered light, a form of cosmic lens flare that obscures the true subjects of study. But in this quiet archive, we see its real purpose. It reveals the unseen atmosphere of space itself. It shows us that even the blackest void is not empty, but is filled with a fine, shimmering dust, the remnants of stars that lived and died long ago. The ghost of Orion looks like a single, impossibly large wing of an angel feathered with light and shadow. It curves gently, as if enfolding the star cluster within its protective embrace. As you gaze upon it, imagine the silence of this place. The only sound is the faint, imaginary whisper of light touching dust, a process that has continued uninterrupted for millennia. Allow this ghostly image to quiet your mind. It is a reminder that even in the dark, there is a gentle, pervasive light. Let your thoughts become as light and as transparent as this celestial veil, drifting peacefully, without weight or worry in the calm, quiet dark. We now open a file that is simply a string of coordinates, but we will call it the Crimson Cascade. This is a close-up view of a Wolf Riot star, a massive, volatile star nearing the end of its life. Public images of these stars often show them as intensely bright points of light, surrounded by a spherical shell of ejected gas. This image, however, is different. It uses a unique filtering technique, isolating the spectral lines of ionized silicon and carbon, and mapping them to the deepest shades of crimson and scarlet. The result is an image that looks like a celestial hemorrhage. The star itself is a blinding white core, but from it erupts a chaotic, multi-layered cascade of gas that looks like thick, dark red paint being poured through water. The structures are not smooth or spherical. They are clumpy, violent, and beautiful, like a frozen moment of a controlled explosion. The reason for its forbidden status is its sheer artistic intensity. It is scientifically valid, but its visceral, almost organic appearance is considered distracting. It evokes feelings of passion, of chaos, of life and death in its most raw form. But for our sleep lecture, this intensity can be transformed. See it not as violence, but as release. The star is shedding its outer layers, letting go of its immense mass and energy in a final, glorious act of creation. The elements forged in its heart are being cast out into the cosmos to one day form new stars, new planets, and perhaps new life. Imagine all the tension in your body, all the stress from your day, being collected and then released, just like the star's crimson cascade. Feel it flow out of you, dissolving into the vastness of space, becoming a part of something beautiful, chaotic, and new. There's a deep peace in this act of letting go, a silent, powerful surrender. Let us now view a file named Earendell's Wake. Earendel is the most distant single star ever detected, its light magnified for us by a massive galaxy cluster acting as a gravitational lens. The official image is a tiny, reddish dot, but this secret file shows something more. It is an ultra-long exposure, capturing not just the star, but the distorted path its light has taken to reach us. The image is a single, impossibly long, wavering streak of golden light painted across a backdrop of the deepest black. It is not straight. It is bent and twisted by the gravity of the foreground cluster, creating a shimmering, ethereal ribbon. It looks like the trail left by a single spark falling through a deep, dark night. Along this ribbon, the light intensifies and fades, a result of micro-lensing events by smaller objects along the line of sight. It is as if the light itself is breathing. This image is shelved because it is an artifact of lensing, not a true picture of the star's environment. It is a distortion, a cosmic funhouse mirror, but it reveals a profound truth. It is a visual representation of the journey of light through a curved, dynamic space-time. It is a portrait of time itself. As you look at this golden thread, consider its journey of over 12 billion years. This light began its travels when the universe was in its infancy. It has journeyed through expanding space, bent around unseen dark matter, and dodged gravitational whirlpools, all to arrive at Webb's mirror and now in our minds. Let the length of this journey put your own concerns into perspective. Your worries are but a fleeting moment compared to this ancient light. Allow your mind to travel along this golden ribbon, back through time, back to a younger, simpler universe. Feel the immense, silent passage of eons, and in that vastness, find a sense of profound peace and stillness. The next image in our collection is called the Labyrinth of Perseus. It shows the Perseus galaxy cluster, a colossal gathering of thousands of galaxies bound together by gravity. Standard images show dots and ovals of light against a dark background. This image, however, focuses on what is between the galaxies, the intracluster medium. By using filters that track the faint X-ray and infrared glow of superheated gas, the image reveals a ghostly, intricate web of filaments connecting the galaxies. The gas, rendered in ethereal shades of teal and cyan, forms a cosmic labyrinth, a network of shimmering threads and glowing walls that fills the seemingly empty space. It looks like a neural network, or the delicate structure of a sponge on a scale that is almost impossible to comprehend. This image is hidden because it is a composite of data from multiple telescopes over many years, and the structures are so faint they are at the very edge of detectability, making them scientifically contentious. But for us, it is a map of the universe's unseen skeleton. It shows us that everything is connected. These galaxies, separated by millions of light years, are not isolated islands. They are embedded in a greater structure, communicating through gravity and exchanging matter through these glowing rivers of gas. As you gaze at this celestial network, imagine the connections in your own life. Then, imagine the connections between your body and the world around you, the air you breathe, the ground beneath you. Now expand that feeling to this cosmic scale. You are part of a network that stretches across galaxies. Every atom in your body was forged in a place like this. Feel that sense of belonging, of being part of a vast, interconnected, and beautiful whole. There is no isolation in this universe. There is only the labyrinth, and we are all a part of its intricate, peaceful pattern. We now open a folder containing not one image, but a time-lapse sequence. It is labeled The Breathing of a Brown Dwarf. Brown dwarfs are failed stars, objects more massive than a planet, but not massive enough to ignite nuclear fusion in their cores. They are incredibly faint and difficult to study. This sequence, taken over several weeks, visualizes the atmospheric patterns of a nearby brown dwarf named Lumen 16A. The data, translated into visible light, shows a world of swirling, hypnotic bands of color. Deep maroon, burnt orange, and muted gold flow across the object's surface in slow, mesmerizing patterns. Great circular storms, larger than our Earth, form and dissipate like eddies in a stream. The object appears to be slowly, rhythmically breathing. The colors pulse gently, brightening and dimming as different layers of the hot, dusty atmosphere rotate into view. This data would normally be presented as a graph or a scientific model, not as a visual animation. It is considered forbidden as a pure image because it is an artistic interpretation of thermal data and the timescale is compressed. But its effect is hypnotic. It is like watching a cosmic lava lamp, a self-contained world of slow, gentle, and endless change. There is no land, no sea, just an eternal, silent dance of warm gases. Allow your eyes to soften as you watch this dance. Match your breathing to its slow, gentle rhythm. Inhale as the colors brighten. Exhale as they dim. Each pulse is a silent reminder to let go. There is nothing to do, nothing to solve. There is only the slow, rhythmic turning of this distant, lonely world. Let its peaceful, repetitive motion guide you into a state of deep, effortless calm. You are floating, you are watching, you are at peace. Our next file is one of the most abstract. It is titled, The Resonance of the Void. This image is not of a star or a galaxy, but of a patch of space, thought to be almost completely empty, a region known as the Buddha's Void. Webb stared at this patch of nothingness for over a month, collecting every single photon of light that arrived. The resulting image, when amplified 1,000,000 times, is a strange, pointillist canvas. It is not black. It is a faint, shimmering tapestry of muted colors: moss green, dusty rose, and pale lavender. These are not individual objects, but the combined, smeared-out light of galaxies so impossibly distant that they can no longer be resolved as individual points. This is the cosmic background, the echo of a time when the entire universe was a glowing fog. Superimposed on this faint glow are darker patches, thin, spidery lines of blackness. These are wisps of primordial hydrogen gas, so cold and diffuse that they absorb even this faint background light. The image would never be released because it is essentially a picture of the telescope's own noise limit, a visual representation of the deepest silence it can achieve. But here, it is a meditation on emptiness. It teaches us that nothing is truly empty. Even in the greatest void in the known universe, there is a faint light, a distant memory, and the delicate shadow of ancient gas. Gaze into this colorful silence. It is the visual equivalent of a deep, resonant hum, the sound of the universe itself. Let this image absorb all the noise in your mind. Let your thoughts dissipate into this gentle, shimmering void, becoming part of its vast, ancient, and profound peace. There is nothing to fear in the emptiness. It is calm. It is quiet. It is home. Let us now access a file that is an extreme close-up. The label reads, Pillars of Creation, the Unseen Veins. The famous pillars of creation are vast columns of interstellar gas and dust. Public images show their majestic, mountain-like forms. This secret image, however, uses a specialized infrared filter that peers deep inside the central pillar. The grand structure dissolves away, and we are left with a view that is surprisingly biological. We see a network of incredibly fine, glowing filaments of gas, rendered in a brilliant, electric blue. They branch and weave together, looking exactly like the veins and capillaries of a living organism. At the junctions of these veins, small, intensely bright magenta knots appear. These are the very earliest stages of star formation, dense pockets of gas that are just beginning to collapse under their own gravity. The image is unreleased because this level of detail is so complex, it becomes scientifically confusing, and the biological analogy is considered unhelpful. The colors are chosen to highlight density, not chemical composition, making it artistically biased. Yet for us, it is a revelation. It shows the universe not as a collection of inert mechanical objects, but as a living, breathing system. The cosmos has a circulatory system, and its lifeblood is this glowing gas, carrying the potential for new suns and new worlds. Imagine you can shrink down and travel through these celestial veins. Feel the gentle current of hydrogen gas flowing around you. Watch the quiet, magical process of stars being born in the deep, silent interior of the pillar. This is a place of nourishment, of life in its most elemental form. It reminds us that we are made of this same stardust, that the same processes that form our bodies are at work on a galactic scale. Feel this cosmic life force flowing through you, bringing with it a sense of deep cellular peace and renewal. The next piece in our private gallery is titled The Shattered Galaxy. It is an image of RP 220, a pair of colliding galaxies. Usually, this object is shown as a bright, chaotic blob of light. This forbidden version is different. It uses computational imaging to subtract all the bright, young stars from the view. What is left behind is the underlying structure of the tidal tails, the vast streams of stars and gas that have been ripped out of the galaxies by their gravitational encounter. The result is an image of breathtaking fragility and violence. We see two faint, ghostly spiral arms, now distorted and broken. From them, immense arching tendrils of pale silver light extend for hundreds of thousands of light years, like shattered glass. These tendrils are dotted with tiny, faint clumps of light, which are dwarf galaxies being formed from the wreckage. The image is considered scientifically misleading because it removes the most prominent features of the collision. It is an edited, artistic rendering of the destruction, but its emotional power is undeniable. It is a portrait of a cosmic cataclysm, frozen in time. Yet it is not an image of an ending, but of transformation. In the midst of this shattering, new creation is happening. The universe is recycling itself. As you gaze upon this beautiful, broken structure, think of the challenges or disruptions in your own life. See them not as endings, but as opportunities for transformation, just like this shattered galaxy. There is a strange and profound peace in accepting chaos. This image tells us that even when things fall apart, a new, perhaps more intricate beauty can emerge from the pieces. Let that thought soothe your mind. There is order in the chaos. There is creation in the destruction. There is peace in the change. We now turn to a file labeled The Echo in the Dust. This is an image of the star V838, Monocerotis. Years ago, the star suddenly brightened, sending a light echo rippling through the surrounding interstellar dust clouds. We have seen images of this before, but this one is unique. It is a composite, layering images taken over several months, with each time-stamped layer assigned a different, subtle color. The earliest part of the echo is a deep, soft red. As it expands, it transitions through shades of orange, yellow, and finally, a pale, ghostly blue at its outermost edge. The effect is that of a three-dimensional, iridescent bubble of light, frozen in time and space. The dust clouds are illuminated in a way that reveals their intricate, swirling, three-dimensional structure, like smoke rings in a vast, dark room. The image is not used publicly because this color coding of time is an artificial construct, a visualization technique, rather than a direct photograph. But it allows us to perceive time as a spatial dimension. We are seeing the history of this light pulse in a single glance. It is a painting made of time itself. As you look at this beautiful, layered echo, imagine your own memories. See them not as fleeting thoughts, but as gentle ripples of light expanding outward from your past. Each ripple, each color, is a part of your story. This image gives us permission to see our past not as something that is gone, but as something that has shaped the space around us, illuminating it with its unique light. There is no need to hold on to these memories tightly. Just observe them, like this beautiful, silent echo, expanding ever outward, becoming fainter, softer, and more peaceful with time. Let the silence of this cosmic echo quiet the echoes in your own mind, leaving only a sense of calm, expansive peace. The next file is an audio-visual representation, a format rarely seen. It is called The Choir of the Trappist System. This system has 7 rocky, Earth-sized planets orbiting a small, cool star. This visualization takes the subtle gravitational interactions between these planets, their orbital resonances, and translates them into audible frequencies and corresponding colors. The image is a simple one: 7 glowing circles of light, the planets, rendered in soft pastel colors from a warm peach to a cool lavender. As they orbit a central, deep red star, they generate a sound, It is not a melody, but a series of deep, resonant, harmonious chords. The planets are so closely packed that their gravitational pulls create a stable, repeating mathematical pattern, a form of celestial harmony. As one planet gets closer to another, the pitch rises slightly. As they move apart, it falls. The result is a slow, pulsing, cosmic hum, a deeply soothing and stable sound. This data is normally kept as pure numbers for physicists to study. To turn it into sound and light is considered an unscientific personification, but it reveals a hidden music in the cosmos. The laws of physics have an inherent harmony. Gaze at the soft-colored lights as they dance their slow, predictable waltz. Listen to the deep, resonant choir of their gravity. Let this cosmic music wash over you. It is the most ancient and stable music you will ever hear. It has been playing for billions of years and will continue for billions more. Allow its stability and harmony to permeate your being. There is no discord here. There is no rush. There is only the slow, eternal, and peaceful music of the spheres. Let it lull you into a state of deep, resonant rest. Let us view a file named The Eye of the Void. This is a view of a dark nebula, a dense cloud of gas and dust that obscures the light of the stars behind it. The most famous is the Horsehead Nebula. This one is less known, a smaller cloud called Barnard 68. In visible light, it is an inky black blotch. But in this forbidden Webb image, which combines multiple infrared wavelengths, the nebula comes alive. The outer edges of the cloud glow with a faint, deep amber light. This is the light from background stars, scattered and reddened by the dust. But the center remains profoundly dark. However, because of a subtle gravitational lensing effect from the cloud's own mass, the very few stars directly behind its center are distorted into thin, concentric rings of light. The result is an image that looks uncannily like a giant, amber-colored eye with a dark, impenetrable pupil staring out at us from the void. It is unsettling and awe-inspiring. This image is shelved because the eye is a chance alignment, a trick of light and gravity. To present it this way would be to anthropomorphize the cosmos, but for our purpose, it is perfect. It is a symbol of the universe's awareness. It is not a malevolent eye, but a calm, steady, all-seeing gaze. It has watched the universe evolve for eons. It has seen the stars born and die. It has witnessed the slow dance of galaxies. In its gaze, there is infinite patience and infinite peace. Imagine this gentle, cosmic eye watching over you as you prepare for sleep. Feel its steady, protective presence. There is no judgment in its gaze, only a deep, silent understanding. Let that feeling of being seen, of being watched over by the universe itself, bring you a profound sense of safety and calm. You can let go. You can rest. The eye of the void is keeping watch. The next image is called the River of Hydrogen. It depicts a vast, filamentary structure of hydrogen gas that stretches for millions of light years, connecting several small, young galaxies. In most astronomical images, hydrogen gas is assigned a red color. In this forbidden image, a different palette is used. The data has been processed to show the velocity of the gas. Gas that is moving towards us is colored a cool, shimmering silver. Gas moving away is a deep, tranquil blue, and gas that is moving perpendicular to our line of sight is a faint, glowing violet. The result is an image that looks like a great celestial river flowing through the darkness of space. You can see the currents and eddies, the places where the flow is fast and smooth, and the places where it tumbles and churns as it falls into the gravitational wells of the young galaxies. This visualization is scientifically complex and not intuitive for the public, which is why it remains in the archive. But for us, it transforms a static image into one of fluid motion. We can feel the cosmic flow. It is the raw material of creation, being delivered to the sites where new stars will be born. Imagine yourself as a single, tiny particle within this great river. You are weightless. You are carried along by a gentle, cosmic current that has a purpose and a destination. There's no need to struggle or to swim against the flow. The universe is guiding you. Feel the sense of release that comes with surrendering to this gentle, powerful current. It is carrying you towards a place of creation, a place of peace. Let your mind drift along this silver and blue river, flowing effortlessly through the silent cosmic night, all the way to the shores of sleep. We now access a file that is almost pure information, translated into a visual. It is called the dark matter map. Dark matter is an invisible substance that makes up most of the matter in the universe. We cannot see it directly, but we can map its location by observing its gravitational effects on the light from distant galaxies. This image is a map of the dark matter in a large section of the sky. It does not show stars or galaxies. It is a ghostly, three-dimensional web of light against a black background. The densest concentrations of dark matter are shown as thick, brightly glowing white filaments. The less dense areas are thinner, fainter blue tendrils. The entire structure looks like a vast, luminous, and incredibly complex spider web, or like the root system of an impossibly large tree. The places where the filaments intersect are where we would find large galaxy clusters. But in this image, the galaxies themselves are gone, leaving only their invisible gravitational scaffolding. This image is forbidden because it is not a photograph at all. It is a computer-generated model based on gravitational lensing data. It is an image of something that is, by its nature, invisible, but it reveals the hidden architecture of the cosmos. It is the framework upon which everything we can see is built. As you gaze into this silent, glowing web, feel the presence of the unseen. It is a reminder that reality is so much more than what we can perceive with our senses. There are hidden structures, unseen forces that give shape and stability to our universe. There is a profound comfort in this. It suggests a deeper order, a hidden logic beneath the apparent chaos. Let your mind relax into this invisible structure. Feel its silent, steady support, holding you, holding the entire galaxy, holding everything together in a vast, peaceful, and stable embrace. The next image takes us close to home, yet it feels alien. It is titled, The Sun's Chromosphere in Lyman Alpha. This is an image of our own sun, but it is taken in a very specific wavelength of ultraviolet light called Lyman alpha, which is emitted by hydrogen atoms. This light is invisible to our eyes and is normally studied using graphs. When translated into a visual, the sun is transformed. It is no longer a bright yellow orb. Instead, it is a dark, textured sphere covered in a seething, moss-like carpet of light. This is the chromosphere, a layer of the sun's atmosphere. In this light, it looks like a field of glowing golden green grass, constantly swaying and rippling. Rising from this field are immense, arching prominences of light, great loops of plasma that look like the delicate, glowing petals of some cosmic flower. The image is never shown this way because the colors are completely false and the textures are unfamiliar, potentially confusing the public about what the sun looks like. But it reveals the sun's hidden, delicate beauty. It is not just a brute force furnace, but a place of intricate and graceful structures. Gaze at this field of golden green light. Watch the slow, silent dance of the plasma loops, arching and falling with impossible grace. It is a silent, hypnotic fire, a dance of pure energy. Imagine the warmth of this light, not as a harsh, burning heat, but as a gentle, life-giving energy. Feel it suffusing your body, a soft, internal glow that loosens every muscle and calms every nerve. This is the hidden heart of our solar system, and in its secret dance, there is a rhythm of profound and powerful peace. Let us view a file titled "The Planet of Glass Rain." This is an artistic rendering based on atmospheric data from the exoplanet HD 189733b. This is a hot Jupiter, a gas giant orbiting incredibly close to its star. Its atmosphere is over 1,000 degrees Celsius. Webb's instruments have detected the presence of silicate particles in its atmosphere. In other words, it rains molten glass, sideways, in winds of over 7,000 kilometers per hour. This forbidden image attempts to visualize this. It shows a deep blue sphere, the color caused by the silicate haze scattering light. Swirling through this blue are shimmering white streaks. This is the rain of glass caught in the planet's ferocious winds. The image is beautiful and terrifying. It looks like a sapphire blue marble with delicate white ribbons wrapped around it. It is not shown to the public because to depict such an extreme and violent world as beautiful could be seen as misleading. But we can find a different meaning in it. It is a testament to the universe's boundless imagination. It can create worlds so far beyond our own experience, worlds of impossible chemistry and physics. And yet, they can still possess a breathtaking aesthetic beauty. As you look at this swirling blue and white sphere, do not think of the heat or the wind. Think only of the pattern. It is a pattern of flow, of constant movement. It is a reminder that even in the most extreme conditions, the laws of nature create patterns of mesmerizing beauty. Let the image of this impossible world wash your own thoughts away. Your mind can become like this planet's atmosphere. Your worries like the glass rain, not solid or permanent, but transient streaks of light, flowing and moving until they simply dissipate into the deep, peaceful blue. The next image is an extreme close-up of something ancient. The file is labeled "The First Metals." This is a spectroscopic image of a quasar, the bright nucleus of a very distant young galaxy. The light from this quasar has passed through an even more ancient cloud of intergalactic gas on its journey to us. By analyzing the spectrum of the quasar's light, astronomers can see what elements are present in that gas cloud. This image visualizes those absorption lines. It is a dark background with a series of incredibly fine, sharp, vertical lines of color. Each line represents an element: hydrogen, helium, and most importantly, a few faint lines of carbon and oxygen. These are the first metals, the first heavy elements forged in the very first generation of stars after the Big Bang. The image looks like a celestial barcode or a piece of minimalist art. It is forbidden as a public image because it is pure data, meaningless without extensive explanation. But for us, it is a birth certificate. It is the first chemical signature of a universe becoming complex. Before this, there was only hydrogen and helium. These faint lines of color represent the beginning of the possibility of planets, of water, of life. They are the chemical ancestors of every atom in your body. Gaze at these simple, elegant lines of light. They are a message from a time almost at the beginning of everything. They speak of a quiet, profound transformation. The universe was learning to build. Let the simplicity and profound meaning of this image calm your mind. You are connected to this ancient moment. The same elements that are painting these faint lines of light across 13 billion years of space-time are the elements that are peacefully breathing in and out of your lungs right now. Feel that deep, ancient, and unbroken connection. Let us open a file named The Whispers of Jupiter. This is another data visualization, this time of the intricate gravitational fields in the Jupiter system. The image shows the planet Jupiter as a large, soft, golden sphere, but surrounding it is a ghostly, complex web of shimmering silver lines. These are not visible structures. They are the Lagrangian points and stable resonant pathways, invisible channels and pockets in the space-time carved by the gravitational dance between Jupiter and its many moons. These are the paths of least resistance, the cosmic currents that dust, asteroids, and even spacecraft can follow. The web is incredibly intricate, with arches, loops, and vortexes, all centered around the serene golden sphere of the planet. This image is archived because it depicts a purely mathematical concept, an invisible force field. But it shows us the hidden geometry of gravity. It is the blueprint of the solar system's most complex gravitational machine. Imagine you are a tiny mote of dust caught in one of these silver currents. You are being guided effortlessly, pulled along a perfect, looping path around the great planet. The journey is silent, smooth, and requires no effort at all. This is what it feels like to be in perfect harmony with the forces of nature. Let your mind enter this state of effortless flow. There is a hidden structure to the universe that guides and supports you. You don't have to see it to trust it. You can simply relax into its embrace, letting the invisible currents of peace and quiet carry you gently and surely into a state of deep and restful sleep. The next image is one of profound isolation and beauty. It is titled The Rogue Planet. This is a direct image, a rare feat of a planet that has been ejected from its original solar system and is now wandering alone through interstellar space. The image is starkly simple. Against a backdrop of the deepest, most uniform black, there is a single, faint, glowing orb. It is rendered in a deep, melancholic magenta, a color chosen to represent the faint infrared heat it still radiates from its formation billions of years ago. There are no nearby suns to illuminate it. It generates its own feeble light. The image is forbidden for public release because it is so faint and lacking in detail that it is considered unengaging. It is just a dim dot, but its power lies in its context. This is a world without a sun, a world of eternal twilight. It is a world of unimaginable solitude, yet it is not dead. It is still warm at its core. It is a self-contained entity, traveling on its own epic journey through the galaxy. Is it this lonely, beautiful world? It does not need a sun to have its own inner warmth. It does not need a solar system to have a path. It is complete in itself. In its solitude, there is a powerful peace. Let this image remind you of the quiet strength you hold within yourself. You have your own inner warmth, your own light. As you drift towards sleep, embrace this sense of quiet self-sufficiency. You are a complete universe, floating peacefully in the quiet, gentle dark. There is no need for anything else. There is only the peaceful, steady warmth of your own being. We now view a file that challenges our perception of scale. It is called the cosmic web absorption. The image appears, at first, to be a mistake. It's a view of a single bright blue-white quasar, but the image is covered in what looks like a fine, dark crack, like a flaw in a photograph. But this is no flaw. This is the shadow of a filament of the cosmic web, a vast, diffuse tendril of primordial hydrogen gas, stretching for millions of light years, lies between us and this quasar. The gas is so tenuous that it is completely invisible on its own, but it is just dense enough to absorb a tiny fraction of the quasar's light. This forbidden image has enhanced the contrast to make this absorption line visible. The result is a stark, dark line cutting across the brilliant light of the distant galaxy. It is shelved because it is an extreme manipulation of data, making something nearly invisible appear solid and dark. But it allows us to see the unseen. It is a photograph of a shadow that is millions of light years long. It is a direct glimpse of the vast, invisible structure that permeates the universe. As you look at this simple, powerful image, let it be a metaphor for your own thoughts. Your worries can sometimes feel like this dark line obscuring the light. But this image reminds us that even the vastest shadows are cast by something that is mostly empty space. The shadow is less real than the light it covers. Allow the brilliant light of the quasar to represent your own calm, peaceful core. See your worries as this transient shadow, and then watch as your focus dissolves the shadow, letting the bright, steady light of your inner peace shine through, clear and unbroken. The next image is a close-up of the galactic center. It is titled, "The Orchestral Filaments." At the heart of our Milky Way galaxy is a supermassive black hole. Surrounding it are chaotic, powerful magnetic fields. This image visualizes those fields. Using radio and infrared data, it traces the paths of ionized gas caught in the magnetic field lines. The result is an image of breathtaking complexity. Thousands of incredibly thin, shimmering, golden filaments of light are seen arching and twisting in the dark. They are perfectly smooth and parallel in some regions, while in others they are tangled and knotted, like a celestial ball of yarn. They look like the strings of a harp or the strokes of a master calligrapher's brush. This image is not released because it is a visualization, not a direct photo, and its complexity can be overwhelming. but for us it is a frozen symphony. Each filament is a note, a pathway for energy to flow. The entire structure is a visual representation of the immense, silent forces that orchestrate the motion of stars and gas at the heart of our galaxy. Gaze at these beautiful golden strings. Imagine the silent music they are playing, a symphony of gravity and magnetism that has been performing for eons. There is a deep, underlying order in this apparent chaos. Let the harmony of these structures bring harmony to your mind. Let your thoughts untangle, becoming as smooth and as graceful as these golden, flowing lines. You are listening with your eyes to the quiet, powerful music of the galactic core, a lullaby of immense and peaceful power. Let us open a file that is titled The Chromatic Aberration of a Neutron Star. This is an image of a lone, isolated neutron star, the superdense remnant of a supernova explosion. A neutron star is so dense that its gravity significantly bends the light of stars behind it. This effect, called gravitational lensing, also separates light into its component colors, like a prism. This forbidden image greatly exaggerates this effect. The neutron star itself is an invisible point in the center, but surrounding it, the background stars are not points of light. They are stretched into tiny, beautiful arcs and streaks of pure color. A star that was white is now a tiny rainbow. A blue star is smeared into a streak of violet, blue, and green. A red star becomes a slash of orange and yellow. The entire image is a dark canvas sprinkled with these tiny, vibrant, prismatic distortions. It is considered unscientific because the chromatic effect has been amplified by the computer 1,000 times to make it visible. But it is a perfect illustration of how mass sculpts light. It is a painting created by gravity itself. As you gaze at this field of tiny, colorful rainbows, let it remind you of how your own perspective can color your reality. The stars have not changed, but the lens through which you are seeing them has transformed them. Let your lens be one of peace and quiet. Let all the events of your day, all the thoughts in your mind, be refracted through this lens of calm. See them break down into their simplest, most beautiful components. There is no need to see them as solid problems. See them as transient streaks of color, beautiful and fleeting against the vast, dark canvas of your peaceful mind. The next image is from the very edge of our solar system. The file is labeled The Light of Sedna. Sedna is a dwarf planet, one of the most distant known objects in our solar system. Its orbit is so vast that it takes over 11,000 years to make one trip around the sun. From Sedna's surface, the sun would appear as just an incredibly bright star, not a disk. This forbidden image is an artist's impression based on Webb's data on Sedna's composition. It shows a landscape of dark, reddish, frozen organic compounds, a mixture of water ice and complex hydrocarbons. The terrain is ancient and uneroded. Above this dark, silent landscape, the sky is a profound black, but it is not empty. The Milky Way stretches from horizon to horizon, a brilliant, dense river of light, far brighter and clearer than we can ever see it from Earth. There are no city lights, no atmospheric haze. There is only this dark, silent world and the overwhelming, silent glory of the galaxy. This image is, of course, a speculation, which is why it remains in the archive. But it is a powerful meditation on perspective. It reminds us that our bright blue sky is a local phenomenon. The true sky, the sky of the universe, is this one. A deep, silent black filled with the light of 100 billion suns. Imagine yourself standing on this silent, frozen world. The ground beneath you is still. The air is non-existent. There is only the profound, deep silence and the awe-inspiring view. Let the grandeur of this galactic vista dissolve your sense of self. Your worries, your identity, your history, they all fade into insignificance in the face of this majestic, silent light. You are simply an awareness, a point of consciousness, witnessing the beauty of your home galaxy from afar. In this vastness, there is an equally vast peace. We now access a file that is a study in texture. It is named The Foam of the Tarantula Nebula. The Tarantula Nebula is a massive star-forming region in a nearby galaxy. It is a place of extreme violence, with powerful stellar winds from giant stars blowing huge bubbles in the surrounding gas. This forbidden image zooms in on the walls of one of these bubbles. It uses a filtering technique that highlights the turbulence and density variations in the gas. The result is an image that looks like the foam on a wave in the ocean, or the intricate structure of soap bubbles. We see a complex, three-dimensional network of glowing, interconnected cells of gas, rendered in shades of pearlescent white and soft gold. Within the walls of these cosmic bubbles, we can see smaller, secondary bubbles, and even smaller ones within those. It is a fractal structure, a pattern that repeats at different scales. This image is not released because it focuses on a chaotic, small-scale feature, ignoring the larger picture. But it reveals the intricate physics of the interstellar medium. It is a snapshot of the battle between pressure and gravity. As you look at this delicate, cosmic foam, think of the lightness of bubbles. They are ephemeral, fragile, and beautiful. This image tells us that even the most powerful forces in the universe can create structures of incredible delicacy. Let your heavy thoughts become as light as this cosmic foam. Imagine them as tiny, shimmering bubbles, floating for a moment before peacefully popping and disappearing into the gentle, golden light. There's no weight, no substance to them. There's only the light, peaceful, and intricate pattern of the present moment. The next image in our archive is titled The Umbral Core. It is a picture of a sunspot on a distant star, a technique called star spot imaging. By observing the tiny dip in a star's light as a sunspot rotates into view, a computer can reconstruct a low-resolution image of it. This image is a visualization of that data. It shows a dark, jagged shape against the bright, textured surface of the star. The forbidden part is how the colors are rendered. The main surface of the star is a soft, creamy white, but the sunspot, the umbra, is not black. It is shown as a deep, mesmerizing cobalt blue, and the penumbra, the lighter region surrounding the spot, is a ring of electric cyan. This coloration is completely artificial, chosen to highlight the temperature difference. A sunspot is not actually blue. It is just cooler, and thus less bright than its surroundings. But this artistic choice creates an image of stunning beauty. It looks like a deep blue lake on a snowy landscape. It is a cool, calm island in the middle of a fiery star. As you gaze at this island of blue, let it be a focal point for your relaxation. It is a place of relative coolness and quiet in a universe of intense energy. Let your mind travel to this place. Feel the imagined coolness. Feel the quiet, the raging furnace of the stars all around. But here, in the umbral core, there is a strange and profound peace. Let this be a sanctuary for your mind, a cool, blue, quiet place where you can rest, completely insulated from all the heat and noise of the outside world. Float in this cobalt lake and drift. Let us view a file named The Cartographer's Error. This is an image of a section of the sky that was mapped by 2 different surveys, years apart. This image is a composite that shows the differences between the 2 maps. Most of the image is black, but where a star has moved slightly, a proper motion vector is drawn, a tiny, glowing arrow of light. Where a star has varied in brightness, it is colored red or blue. Where a new object has appeared, like a faint, distant supernova, it is circled in green. The result is a sparse, abstract image. It looks like a secret star chart filled with cryptic notations and symbols. It is forbidden because it is not a picture of the sky as it is now, but a picture of how the sky is changing. It is a map of celestial time. It reminds us that our view of the heavens is not static. The stars are not fixed points of light. They are a dynamic, shifting, changing population. Everything's in motion. There is a deep comfort in this. The universe is not a static museum piece. It is a living, evolving entity. Gaze at these secret markings. They are the whispers of cosmic change. Let this image encourage you to accept the changes in your own life. Change is the fundamental nature of the universe. It is not something to be resisted, but something to be observed, like these gentle shifts in the celestial map. There is no need to hold on to how things were. The universe is constantly redrawing its own map. Let your mind be as fluid and as accepting as the cosmos itself, finding peace in the gentle, constant, and inevitable flow of time. The next file in our private collection is titled The Polarized Veil of the Galactic Nucleus. Light can have a property called polarization, a specific orientation of its waves. This image maps the polarization of infrared light coming from the dust clouds near our galaxy's center. The resulting image is not colored by temperature or composition, but by the orientation of the light waves. The image is a swirling, hypnotic pattern of colors, reminiscent of an oil slick on water or the iridescent patterns on a butterfly's wing. Vivid greens, magentas, blues, and oranges flow into one another in graceful, curving patterns. These patterns trace the magnetic fields that are hidden within the dust clouds, which align the dust grains and polarize their light. This image is shelved because it is an abstract representation of a physical property of light, not a direct view. But its beauty is undeniable. It is a direct visualization of an invisible force. It is the secret pattern hidden within the light. As you gaze at this psychedelic, flowing tapestry of color, let it bypass your analytical mind. There is nothing to understand here, only something to experience. It is a pure visual meditation. Let the colors wash over you. Follow the swirling patterns with your mind's eye. Let them lead you in a gentle, hypnotic dance. There is no thought required, no effort needed. Just allow your awareness to merge with this beautiful, silent and ever-changing flow of light. It is the universe's own abstract art, and it is a direct pathway to a state of quiet, thoughtless, and peaceful trance. Let us access a very special file. It is called the Earth's Sodium Tail. Our planet, as it moves through the solar system, leaves behind a faint, invisible tail, much like a comet. This tail is not made of ice or dust, but of neutral sodium atoms, sputtered from our upper atmosphere by micrometeorites. This tail is millions of kilometers long and is completely invisible to our eyes. This forbidden image is a composite of extremely sensitive, wide-field observations taken from a space probe far from Earth. It visualizes this faint sodium glow, rendering it as a delicate, shimmering, golden-orange ribbon, stretching away from a tiny, blue-white dot that is our planet. The image is stark and profound. It shows our world not as a solid, isolated object, but as something that is constantly contributing a part of itself to the cosmos. This image is not shown because the tail is so faint, it is barely detectable, and the visualization is an extreme enhancement. But it changes our entire perception of our home. We are not just living on a planet, we are living on a world that is trailing a golden veil across the solar system. It is a sign of our presence, a subtle, shimmering signature of our journey through space. As you look at this image, feel a renewed connection to our planet. It is not a static piece of rock. It is a dynamic, living entity engaged in a cosmic dance, and you are a part of that entity. Feel yourself as a tiny particle of light within that golden tail, traveling silently and peacefully through the vast, dark expanse of the solar system. You are part of a journey, a beautiful, silent, and endless voyage through the night. We now open a file titled The Abyssal Field. This is Webb's deepest image yet, but one that has not been released. The target was not a known galaxy cluster, but a region of space chosen because it was believed to be exceptionally empty, allowing the telescope to see farther back in time than ever before. The telescope stared at this single, tiny patch of blackness for over 500 hours. The resulting image is haunting. The background is not black, but a deep, textured, reddish-brown. The faint, combined glow of the very first primordial stars. Scattered across this ancient canvas are not well-formed spiral galaxies, but tiny, misshapen, intensely blue knots of light. These are the first protogalaxies, the building blocks of everything that came after. They look like tiny, scattered sapphires on a bed of dark, rich soil. The image is forbidden because these objects are so faint and so strange that their nature is still debated by scientists. To release it would be to invite speculation before the science is settled. But for us, it is a glimpse into the cosmic womb. This is what our universe looked like in its earliest infancy. It is an image of pure, raw potential. There is a profound silence in this image, the silence of a time before the great cosmic structures had formed. Gaze into this abyssal field. Let its ancient light be the last thing you see before you close your eyes. You are witnessing the very beginning. And in every beginning, there is a profound sense of peace and limitless possibility. Let that peace be your final thought as you drift into the deep, dark, and restorative abyss of sleep. Our final image for tonight is perhaps the most profound. The file is simply labeled the calibration frame. Before taking a picture of a distant galaxy, a telescope like Webb must take a calibration frame, a picture of nothing, to measure the background noise of its own sensors and the faint zodiacal light of our solar system. This image is one such frame, heavily processed to make that background visible. It is not black. It is a gentle, swirling, mottled pattern of the faintest grays, lavenders, and dusty pinks. This is the light of countless trillions of dust particles, remnants of asteroids and comets that orbit the sun in the same plane as the planets. This is the dust of our own home. Superimposed on this are the tiny, regular patterns of the telescope's own electronic noise, a faint, rhythmic grid. This image would never, ever be released. It is the definition of an unwanted artifact. It is the noise that must be subtracted to reveal the signal of the cosmos. But tonight, we see it differently. This is the most intimate, personal picture of the universe we can take. It is a picture of our immediate cosmic environment, the dust from which we are made. And it is a picture of the quiet, rhythmic hum of the machine we built to see it all. It is a self-portrait. It is a picture of us looking at ourselves. As you gaze at this soft, gentle, and swirling light, know that you are not looking out into the cold, distant universe. You are looking at the dust of your own neighborhood. You are seeing the gentle, steady pulse of your own human curiosity. It is an image of profound and gentle intimacy. Let this final vision be our gateway to sleep. The universe is not out there. It is right here. You are in it. It is in you. And in this unity, there is perfect, absolute, and unconditional peace. And so, our private tour of the secret Webb archive comes to a close. We have journeyed through cosmic tears, shattered galaxies, and the very hum of the void itself. We have seen that the universe's beauty is not just in its perfect, polished portraits, but also in its glitches, its raw data, its beautiful mistakes, and its hidden, invisible structures. These forbidden images teach us that there is wonder in the unseen, peace in the abstract, and a profound connection to be found in the quietest, most subtle whispers of the cosmos. The universe is not just a subject for scientific study. It is a source of infinite artistic and emotional inspiration, a canvas vast enough to hold all of our dreams. Thank you for joining this journey into the quiet corners of the universe. If these hidden visions of the cosmos brought you a measure of peace tonight, please consider showing your support by liking this video and subscribing for more explorations into the deep and the dark. Your presence here makes these journeys possible. And now, a question for your dreaming mind. If you could point the Webb telescope anywhere in the universe to capture your own forbidden image, what would you want to see? What cosmic secret would you want it to reveal? Leave your thoughts in the comments if you wish, or simply let the question dissolve as you drift away. Until next time, may your rest be deep, and may your dreams be as vast and as beautiful as the silent, star-filled void. Sleep well.